Okay, so stuff and things. Stuff and things. We're doing stuff and things. I don't know what to say. Doing some stuff and things. I can't open that door, so I'm dumb and things. We're working on making a new gauge panel. Basically just got tired of this one. It kept popping out because it was just like hot glued in the back, so it's no good. And I also like, hopefully pretty soon I'm not going to be needing that. I have spare one of these guys. This was actually the one that was out of this car, and using that one so I can mock everything up. But basically what I'm going to have here is yeah, like that. I'll slap these other gauges in and give you a better idea. Yeah, so it's going to be like that. Air fuel, throw RPM in there for shits and giggles, and then boost. I might switch these around. I might put the boost gauge here and the tack over here, but not positive yet. And then down here I still got to drill one more hole for my oil pressure gauge, and then just put a bunch of switches in here. Well, not right now. I'm going to put 2 switches in here. One that's going to light up all the gauges and stuff, and then I finally ordered a radiator fan because I don't have one on here right now, and I'm just going to wire the other switch to a relay and then to the fans. So that's basically what we're going to work on now. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I was not expecting that much stuff to come today. The injectors, I think I ordered those Saturday, so that's like, came here in like one day. But yeah, so I'll basically just go over a little bit more what I got in the mail. These are 550 or 555 cc side feed injectors out of like a 05 WRX or something like that, or STI or whatever. I had to order this, which is a serial cable to USB, which I don't have the other piece for it, but this is what I'm going to need to use to connect my wideband to the laptop for data logging. And then I'm sick of having my batteries die all the time, so I ordered 2 more batteries and another charger, so I can always have 2 batteries charging and have 2 full. And then it also came with a car charger, so that'll be kind of cool. Yeah. So, but besides that, I'm still working on my gauge cluster and stuff. This is basically where we're at with it. I like the way it looks. I feel like it's gonna look pretty cool in there. It's not amazing. That sucks. It gets sucked closer down there once I put the screws in. I don't know if I'm gonna screw it in or rivet it in yet. Probably just screw it in for now, just so it's like really easily removable. The screws don't look too bad on there, but I'm gonna finish working on that. I want to pull my dash out and just do all the wiring like real nice and tight. Like instead of having every single wire, like every gauge, there's gonna be 5 gauges there, or no, 4 gauges, instead of every single one individually going to a power source and blah blah blah. I'm just gonna have one wire, like, you know, positive coming from a switch, and then just go to the first gauge, and then from that gauge piggy to the second one, then piggyback to the next one. You know what I mean? So instead of there being a shit ton of wires going down there, if I ever need to disconnect it, I can just disconnect the power from the first gauge, disconnect the negative from the first gauge or whatever, and then it'll be super easy to remove. So basically I'm just gonna get to work on that and finish it. And then once I finish that, then I'll probably pull out my injectors in there and maybe mess around with these ones. But I'm not sure because I got to start with the new setup, and it's still, even with just these injectors, is running super rich. So I got some more learnings to do, but I'm gonna get to work. Alright, so doing more work on the gauge panel. I got it ready to go in the car basically. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. The back is mostly all wired up or whatever. I got all the power. That's gonna go to the oil pressure gauge, which I just have sitting in the car. I'm gonna put that in last because I gotta hook up the line. That's why I made that one like really easily removable. Same thing, this black wire is the ground for the oil pressure gauge, and then this one, green one's the ground for everything. So I got the grounds all looped in there. I got the power looped in going to this switch, and I'm gonna save that switch for my radiator fans. And then obviously I left the power for this separate just because those have their own plugs. That'll be easy enough just to pop this forward and, you know, switch them, take them off. So yeah, that's basically ready to go in the car. The only thing I still gotta do is since I moved my boost gauge, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the cover. Alright, yeah, I had a fresh battery on the charger. This guy is doing work already, so that's good. But yeah, so I basically just gotta, I'm gonna have to drill a hole. I'm gonna pop the rain cover off, drill a hole from the inside through there, and then right now I have the boost line kind of running up through here and then going through here. Same with this is for my like tack or whatever. I'm just gonna drill a hole through here so I could have these come up and then just pop right through there. And hopefully that doesn't give me a hard time. I finally got final version of the wiring done, basically how I want it now, or as best I can get it right now. So I'm pretty sure I showed how I'm gonna have to do this thing. Basically I just gotta hook the power up to these two, or I don't really need to hook it to one, but I'm gonna hook it to both because I am gonna do the radiator fan like later this week. I just want to put it back together now so I could mess with it a little bit, drive it around some more until the radiator fan gets here. But another thing is, I might have complained in some of my other videos, I don't have lights in my tack for whatever reason, or my cluster doesn't light up. So to solve that, I had some little like LEDs lying around, and I basically just wired those in here. This ground I'll basically just probably loop around front and put up there, and then that I have a wire come out of the center console off of the switch for the switch, like 12 volt ignition. This might be too bright, but this is basically the wiring. This would be the wire from the, this would normally go to the engine harness, or the this would normally go to the radio. This is going to go to the two switches I have, and then this is going to be the power for the wideband. This is going to be RPM signal, and then this is the wire that goes over for my cluster. So basically just gotta wire all that up. So I finally got my gauges finished up. I'll show you how it came out. So yeah, a little bit of a glare on there from the light I got going in the back seat so you guys can see them, but it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Not too bad. But yeah, let me hook the battery up real quick and I'll show you what they look like all lit up. Alright, so I know I mentioned I was putting lights in the back of the cluster. Instead of putting those to the switch, for whatever reason I decided it was a good idea just to put them on just the ignition. So those are on all the time whenever the key's on, but I don't really mind it, whatever. I have like a million of the bulbs to replace it with. I was going to use, I had these little LED bulbs that I put in the back of there, but the first time I tried it, I didn't get on camera unfortunately, but the first time I tried it, it like turned on, lit up for a split second, and then got really bright, and then just popped and smoked a little bit and scared the shit out of me. So I took the LEDs out and just put normal bulbs like that were in the blinkers or whatever, and like everywhere else, that like basically the same bulbs should be in the back of the cluster. So yeah, and it doesn't blow up anymore. I think it was just like a freak thing. Just so happens that the LED popped on me. But alright, let's take a look at it. So it might be hard to see because I kind of have lights going on in here already, but oh no, you can totally see. Lights actually light up now. This lights up pretty good, and this kind of lights up, and you can't really see the fuel too much, but in complete darkness you definitely can see it, so that'll be nice. I have the wideband wired just to the ignition, so that is always on as soon as you turn the car, so I don't have to have the lights from these two on there. And then these three are all wired to the same switch, so those come on like that. That one, again, it's hard to see. You can kind of see it's lit up. See on the side there? Doesn't show up too good on camera, but at nighttime and total darkness it'll show up pretty good for me. Thing that sucks though, I'm pretty sure this tachometer is like completely off. I have the SAFC hooked up right now, so I'm going to try it out tomorrow and just start it up and just compare what this says for RPM and what this says, because I'm pretty sure I think this is completely off, which no big deal. I'll just get another gauge and swap it out for something else at some point, because as far as a cluster, I want to just get one with the tachometer up here. But yeah, I don't know, looks pretty good. But that is that. So another thing I did that I don't think I've mentioned yet is on my shifter. I know I mentioned that I did the short throw thing already, but another thing I went ahead and did like yesterday is down here. I basically just cut it and straightened out the top half so that it wasn't at so much of an angle when you're shifting, and it just makes it feel a lot nicer. Okay, so oh, it's tweaking out. Gauges are done. Now I can go back to messing around with getting this thing tuned. When I started getting all the stuff in the mail, to like the injectors and that sort of stuff, I wasn't expecting it for a couple days, so that's why I kind of dove into that project. I figured I could get that done beforehand. But like usual, I got sidetracked, and then that stuff got here, so I messed around with that for a day, and yeah, so whatever. The gauges are done now, and I can go back to messing with some stuff. But that is going to do it for this one. Yeah.